Today, I want to talk about forming your business in the state of Wyoming in the United States. That has been pretty popular. It's been highly publicized over the past number of years. A lot of people are interested in it. So, if you're interested in forming your business, or maybe you want to make some changes to your business and doing some filings in the United States, I think hopefully this will be helpful for you. So, stick around. I decided to do this video when I did is because just recently I was doing some transfers with just transferring some money, just doing business. And in fact, they were in South America. And I thought it was so interesting because this is a South American business, right? And you look at the business address and they have a Wyoming business address in the United States. Okay, so that just shows the potential benefits and that this is very widely known about Wyoming. The state of Wyoming has having many benefits, for filing and for doing your business in that state. And so I thought it made sense to talk a bit about it, you know? It's very interesting to see how various states have become popular and then they're not as popular. Maybe there might be some benefits that are stressed and emphasized, and there are some different states, let's say, that are very popular at a certain time. And then they kind of go away a little bit, and then there might be some new legislation that comes out in a certain state, which makes it much more attractive. And so then many people decide to do their filings in that state. Now, more or less about, I'd say maybe 17, 18 years ago, I remember at that time that among a couple other states, that the state of Nevada was pretty popular. It was pretty highly publicized, and many people were talking about all the benefits of doing business or forming your LLC or limited liability company in the state of Nevada, right? And so a lot of these states kind of ebb and flow, and I know that there have been many benefits to various states, and I know that Wyoming has been fairly popular even 20 years ago. I remember people talking about Wyoming and a lot of the advantages to doing their filing and having your business entity in Wyoming. Okay. And so I'd say over the past 5 to 10 years, Wyoming has become more and more popular, that I see it publicized a lot more often. And it's pretty interesting to see that. And let's go through some of the benefits as well as potentially some of the drawbacks of Wyoming, right? And so if you compare, usually it's not always the best to compare because, well, frankly, every business is different, and whatever you're doing with your business, you may be in a certain industry, you may have offer a certain service where Wyoming may be a very good option for you. In some cases, it may not be as much. There may be some more attractive options that are out there. Now, in terms of the pros for Wyoming, there are many positive things about doing business in Wyoming. And I think one of the biggest ones has to do with privacy. That it is a relatively private state. And if you want to be more anonymous, as an example, with your filings, and a lot of people, they want their privacy, and I completely understand that. It seems like you can set things up very easily, and in comparison, it's very low cost in comparison to some other states. Okay, so if you're interested in forming a business very quickly with limited paperwork, Wyoming can be a very good option for you. And also, a little similar to one of the past videos that I've done before, that there's nothing overly attractive, about like the market of Wyoming, meaning that there aren't any big cities, there aren't any big attractions that are there, right? There's nothing that's going to be a big distraction that's going to attract attention to your business when it's out in Wyoming, right? Right? As compared to some other states. As an example, maybe Florida, or I don't know, maybe California or something, where there could potentially be, a lot of attention. That would be placed on that business. Okay. So you just kind of stay out of the way, and it's nice and private, more or less a rural area, right? And so it's relatively low cost. Okay, so let's say that. I think that that's the biggest pro that you can see. You can see that in comparison to other states, right? So you're in pretty good shape. In terms of the negatives, if you have to call this a negative, please keep in mind that there is a requirement for annual reports. Okay, so after your year one, normally you don't have to file an initial report in Wyoming. Of course, you set up and you have your certificate, your business certificate, and you have your articles of organization and all of that. You know the rules of your company, which is very important if you want to do day-to-day business and if you want to open up bank accounts, as an example, things like that, brokerage accounts, whatever it may be. You really need those articles of organization in place, to lay out who does what, who's in control, and how the business operates day in and day out. Okay. But keep in mind that in year two and moving forward, moving on, then you have those annual reports that you need to do on top of it. So if you're looking strictly from a cost perspective, maybe a little cheaper up front, okay, and you get those advantages of the privacy as an example. However, keep in mind that starting in year two and moving forward, especially if you don't live in that state, and not many people live in that state, so you'd probably have to hire your registered agent as well as do your annual report. Okay, so you'll have the extra fees every year for your report as well as your registered agent. So a lot of people, just because of the benefits, the big benefits related to privacy, they choose to do it. And again, I think ultimately it really depends on your business model, and what specifically you want to do, the product or service that you want to offer, right? And every business is different. So pros and cons of Wyoming. Hopefully you found this interesting.